In our parsha, Moshe says to the Israelites, Ki archiv Hashem Elokecha et gevulcha kasher diber lach, v'amata ochla basar. When Hashem will expand your boundaries, as He has promised you, and you will say, I'd like to eat meat. Then the Torah continues, you may certainly eat meat, but you have to slaughter it as you have been commanded. It has to go through what we call shchita, ritual slaughter. It has to be done in the correct way. And the Talmud is bothered by the introduction, the introductory words. When Hashem, your God, expands your boundaries, as He said to you, and you say, I want to eat meat. Well, what has it got to do with an expansion of boundaries, of borders? Just say, if you want to eat meat, well, then you must do it under these terms. You must follow the mitzvah of shchita, the requirements of ritual slaughter. Why does it have to say when Hashem will expand? And the Talmud explains that it's telling us, it's teaching us derech eretz, proper behavior, proper protocol and etiquette, that you should only eat meat out of a sense of expansiveness. In other words, if you can afford meat, then eat meat. If you've got expanded borders, if you've got money, then eat meat. But if not, don't eat meat, because meat is an expensive product. Here in South Africa, we have, it happens from all of the time, sometimes monthly, sometimes annually, that people are complaining about the cost of kosher meat and kosher chicken. It's so expensive, it's so much more expensive than non-kosher meat and non-kosher chicken. And the reality is, yes, and there's not much you can do to bring down those costs. It's very expensive. You have to have professional shochtim, people who are trained in the laws of ritual slaughter. You have to remove the blood and the veins. There are so many people involved and so many different organizations and so many different things that need to be done, and this pushes up the cost of kosher meat and chicken, and people complain about it because we in South Africa are used to eating a lot of meat. Some people eat meat every single night, or they'll eat chicken. This is not so necessarily in other Jewish communities, certainly not in Israel. In Israel, even people who are moderately well off may not necessarily eat meat often, maybe not even on Shabbat. They may have chicken, they may have turkey because it's a cheaper meat. And perhaps we have to follow what the Torah is saying over here. Ki archiv Hashem et gevulcha. When you have expansiveness, when it's cheaper, when you can afford it. But if not, then you have to view it as somewhat of a luxury product. And you have to reserve it for certain instances. I remember reading in the book of Rabbi Yisrael Meir Lau, the former chief rabbi of the state of Israel. He is a Holocaust survivor. When he came to Israel and he studied in the Kol Torah Yeshiva, he writes that he was there for several years and they didn't have meat the whole year round. Just twice a year, and one of those times was on the day before Yom Kippur because people were poor in those days. The economy wasn't good. So perhaps we've become a little bit too used to it, and therefore the Torah says it's a luxury item. You may eat it if you want to, but only out of a sense of expansiveness of one's boundaries. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.